From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening and welcome to Ask the Attorney. I'm your host, Amy Rao Mohan, and pleased to be here today with Kevin Kennedy. And it's your chance on Ask the Attorney to get legal advice, any type of legal advice, whether it's family law, civil, criminal, something about estates or trusts. We are here to answer all of your questions. And we've got Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm with us.
Good to see you, Amy, as always. Good to see you too. My pleasure.
And today you are in purple. You are in the spirit.
I know. I was thinking about Prince and the Purple Rain. You know, somebody came up to me earlier. They said, "You can't wear that." And I said, "You're right. You can't, but I can." So we got it for a little enthusiasm for the evening.
Well, I always think of it as Northwestern Wildcat. So
yeah, I did. You said that when we came in the studio.
Well, Kevin practices in Clarksville. You got 3 different locations.
Yes,
is that right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your practice.
Well, basically, at the Kennedy Law Firm, you know, I've been a lawyer now for 32 years. I know that sounds dated, but the truth of the matter is, the older you get, the more experience you get, and everybody needs some experience. We've got a mixed review of lawyers, young and old, and the truth is, every legal question has multiple facets to it, lots of ramification. So when we say we do criminal law, when we do domestic law, we do family law, we do bankruptcy, every one of those lead into someone else. Somewhere, and what I always say too, to know just a little bit of the law is dangerous.
That's true.
Because there's so many exceptions to the exception. So whatever the problem is, whether it deals with the estates or whether it deals, when we were talking earlier, we were talking about that estate of Prince.
Right.
And
yeah,
can you believe
no
all
will.
those resources, no will, and what he has caused, he's caused a family fight for generations. And so I don't think that's good judgment, and so let the viewing audience listen and try to avoid that, because you really don't want your family to have to go through that ordeal.
Yeah, and it's not that big of a process to draft a will.
Use your best judgment.
Right. Well, we've got some calls coming in,
okay,
and please keep them coming. 615-737-PLUS. 737-7587 is the number to call at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be able to answer all of your legal questions. So we've got Teresa here on line 1. Hi. Good evening, Teresa.
Yes.
Hi.
If you could just turn the volume on your TV set all the way down and just talk to us on the phone, that'd be great.
Okay. Turn it all the way down, she said.
Okay, Teresa, go ahead.
Hi. I have a question. I had a house fire back in April 17th of last year. It was a kitchen fire. And our insurance, I still don't have a kitchen, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And I have tried attorneys after attorneys called, and nobody wants to help.
Okay. So have you actually hired a lawyer, or you've just talked with attorneys?
I tried. Nobody will even call me back on the issue.
Okay. Well, you keep pursuing it. You might look in online for people who handle insurance claims, and you know, you have to get a lawyer. Almost everybody makes a mistake. If you have a significant claim, get a lawyer, because it is so complicated and you have to push the wheel to get anything done. So much of the time, and even with a lawyer, you know, you may end up having to go to the commissioner of insurance and file a claim because the insurance company is being unreasonable or they're acting in bad faith. I know when the tornado hit of '99, I had a big insurance policy personally, and the girls were working there said, "Well, Miss Kenny, I don't know why you're wound up. It's clearly they're going to have to pay this $1 million." And I said, "If you think they will walk in here and write me a check for $1 million, you're crazy, because they won't do it." And it's clear I'd never gone through a tornado before. Now, Amy, tell me, did they come in and write me the check day one?
Of course not.
No, and it took about 13 months, and we did get it ultimately, but you know, 13 months, and that's with lawyers wheeling and dealing. I remember that day he said, "Now, Miss Kenny, I know you need some spending money, so I'm going to give you $140,000. I said, "Who needs $140,000 spending money? Let's just settle this and let me move forward." And but that's the way they operate. It's kind of like the golden rule. They used to say when I first got to the law firms, these lawyers I work, they said, "We operate on the golden rule." I said, "That's great. I believe it." Doing to others as they do it. And he said, "No, no. He who has the gold makes the rule." So the insurance company companies have the money, they're going to call the shots.
Well, I remember you always used to talk about the tallest buildings or insurance companies.
You go to any city, anywhere, the tallest buildings are going to be insurance companies built, and those were built with average people.
All right, we've got Sandra here on line 2. Hi, Sandra.
Hi.
Hello, Sandra.
How can we help you today?
Yes, I did a move in 2015 with a moving company called the A-Team, and I moved from Nashville, I moved from Dallas, Texas to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And they destroyed a lot of my belongings.
All right.
And then I got some of the other people's stuff here, and I can't even find my stuff that they didn't even return to me.
I got you. What happened to you happens to lots of people. It's kind of like a bailment situation where people take your property. So let's talk about that to help everybody, and then I'll address your issue. First off, if we're going to move, find out the most you can about a company. Call the Better Business Bureau. Here's some others. See how long they've been in business. There's no guarantees that someone can't file bankruptcy and take your stuff and you never see it. I'm very sensitive. You know, I buy expensive cars. Well, they say, Kevin, you're too old-fashioned. You would drive down there to Chicago, and when I bought the Rolls Royce, I flew to Chicago. Well, you said, well, why didn't you just pick it out and have it shipped? Because we do get into a lot of problems. How'd you like to give them the money and then you never got the Rolls Royce? So what I would do in your situation is take some pictures, load it, have a good understanding, and you need to be there when they do it. Pin down the times when they're going to be here, and then you're going to limit some of those things. And also, you need to read the contract. They may try to say, we release ourselves.
Read the fine print.
Read the fine print, because that is a very, very and because we have those kind of claims, and I would pursue a lawyer with insurance, and if they broke my things, you may have to file suit. And you know, when you're moving to Nashville, if you made the deal, I'd like to file in Nashville because that's where you live now, and find out those details. But document, and if you got receipts, because the first thing their insurance company's going to say, well, what was it worth? How can you prove you even own this?
Yeah. All right, we've got Paula here. Good evening, Paula.
Hi, I've got two questions. The first one arising out of the second. The second one arising out of the first. I obtained a judgment against the gentleman who happens to be an attorney, and before I could think about trying to collect on it, I also had a complaint filed with the Board of Professional Responsibility, and they issued a public sanction. One of the terms of which was that he has to repay me and provide evidence to them that he's done so. So my question on that, related to that, is. If for some reason he doesn't do it, do they just go to disbar him, or what happens next? And would I then go to court and try to collect it? And the second thing is, because he made a mess of a situation for me, what I would like to do is, and to the point where it's difficult for me to get another attorney. This is all civil matters.
Right.
Is there some way that I can file something before a court in which I'm not, it would be, I guess, like a complaint or something where it wouldn't necessarily be, the style of the case would not be me against anybody else?
Well, first off, your first question, you've probably done amazing to pursue this against a lawyer, get a judgment against the lawyer, and you've got the board where they have made part of his conditions that he has to make this payment to you. So you've got him about as strong as you can get him, of course. Remember this, a judgment is only as good as the paper it stands on. And sometimes when people file bankruptcy, then that's a federal law that could come in and wipe you out. That doesn't say that he's relieved from his responsibilities with the board, because that's a state agency and state licensing, but they operate under their own rules. But you've gone amazingly beyond the call of duty to try to where you are. I would try to turn it over to a collection lawyer, a lawyer that pursues collection, and quite frankly, again, that lawyer, if he's any way to pay this, he would pay it to keep his license.
Yeah, you would think so. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but please keep calling that number at the bottom of your screen, 615-737-PLUS, 737-7587. We'll be back with Kevin Kennedy after this.